But it's sad when you see certain things going wrong and you're like, oh my God, this will scare a lot of young people not to get into marriage and say, oh, marriage is overrated.
Remember I told you that I was looking out to have to get married, but nobody was ready to marry me.
What's up, my people? How not day waiting they happen with this up? It's a brand new day. Yeah. Guys, I'm changing my content creation style in case you're watching me for the first time. And I might lose some long-time subscribers, and that's why I need you to subscribe to be part of this new growing community. Yes, if you love the content. All right, in today's news, or in today's video, I think I should start off with this report about Stephanie Okereke LINUS, and after that we'll talk about the veteran actress Ayo Mogaji, about their personal life. I bet you didn't know that Stephanie LINUS, or Stephanie Okereke LINUS, was in an illegal marriage. Yes, so in 2007, Stephanie LINUS drove to the court where I wasn't there, but yeah, she went to the court to formally seek divorce papers for a marriage, and she had shocking news that the man she thought she was married to was married to somebody else, one Ijeoma Mba. So the judge really was like, no, we recognize this lady, we don't even recognize you. This is an illegal union because the man you called your husband was already married to, was still married to one Ijeoma Mba, who is a US citizen. But guys, I'm going to read this. But before I read the exact report, I need to mention, of course, I need to share with you guys the name of the guy. The name of that guy is Chikelue, and he is a former Super Eagles player. Yeah, so let us read this report because this happened without her knowledge, and she was shocked. You can imagine. It was a secret wedding, by the way, in case you're wondering, okay, when did they do the wedding? It was a secret, it was low-key. So the wedding wasn't that big, but, you know, the divorce was a little bit big, wasn't really a major thing. And the reason why it wasn't a major thing, because she managed it well, and around that time social media wasn't so big. So is it social media around that time? I don't even know.
I tell people that I have grace, that anytime I have to suffer too much to get something, I know God is not in it, because I didn't come here to come and suffer like that.
Yeah. Let us read the exact report. It says, the judge said Stephanie's marriage to Chikelue was null and void. The judge declared that no legal marriage existed between Stephanie and Chikelue, so there cannot be a divorce, but an annulment of their marriage. The judge said that Chikelue was still legally married to his United States of America wife by the time the ex-beauty queen illegally married Chikelue. Now, she was interviewed after that, but she claimed that she was deceived into this marriage. Now, this marriage lasted for 4 good years. You can imagine. First year, second year, third year, you didn't discover. You don't even know that the person you keep calling babe is not really your babe, like legally. And she said that she left for the safety of her life. In fact, she left in January 14th, 2007. I think the marriage was in August, if my memory serves me right. That's what I saw in the report. Yeah, August 31st, 2004. Yeah, to January 14, 2007. I think she left a matrimonial home. According to what she said in the petition, she said that this man is unfaithful, that's infidelity. She also said that this man lies through his teeth, that he's a big liar. And I think she was also physically abused, emotionally abused, and verbally abused. Oh, God.
Marriage, having a baby, becoming an actress, all were all part of your bucket list, I suppose. You find if you make the right decision, it's easy. If you marry the right person, if you, those are the, The question, I'm trying to go back to your question.
No,
The
no, no, no.
question is-
I'm enjoying the trend. Just keep going.
the question, because the question is, if it's just part of the things that if you get to, when you're ready. Of
Yes.
course, marriage is something you think about, and you pray to marry it at the right time when you're actually very ready to get into it.
Let's read this particular report. She claimed that she bore the financial burden. No, before we read that, the guy himself counterclaimed that she cheated while in the relationship, while in the marriage, but with no proof. And it just makes it seem like this guy was just trying to be defensive, which she mentioned in one of her interviews. We'll get there, but let us read this. She claimed that she bore the financial burden of sustaining the marriage, the family, as the man could not offer any meaningful contribution, but depended on her earnings from acting and other businesses. Now, I know you're thinking, like, is she the one taking care of this man? Look, around this time, around this period, it was hard for actresses to see husband, and that is what also happened to people like veteran actress, even though she's older than Stephanie Okereke Linus, that they also experience during their time, to Genevieve time, Stephanie Linus time and stuff. It was hard. Around that time, actresses are seen as prostitutes. So it didn't even start today, like the news about actresses sleeping around.
At that point, I told you, nobody wants to marry us now. We are actors, you will marry an actor. Things evolve with time. This evolution of sometimes you will wear miniskirt is the vogue. Sometimes you will wear long body is the vogue. During the time I was growing up, people believed that you can... actress, they know we are not ashewos, because another era had come that people refer to actresses as ashewo. But in our time, it was like
She can't be submissive.
she cannot be submissive. She has seen it all. What do you want to say? What do you want to do? She will, kind of thing. And for those of us who are not promiscuous, we will go into a serious relationship. They will teach you, you think this is how it's going to be, and at the end of the day, something will happen or the other. So, I decided I just want to have a baby. That if I don't have a baby until I'm 40, then I will adopt a child. So I've zeroed my mind to the fact that it's not by force that you must marry now.
And that time, the actresses then claimed that they were really... The thing is, because they are in movies and they put them in certain roles where they, live the life and just sleep around in a particular movie, then Nigerians thought, okay, this is what they probably doing in their real life.
I remember when I wanted to, become an actress, and I went to my dad. May he so rest in peace. He's late now. And I said, I want to be an actress. I said, why do you want to be an actress? I laid some of my reasons. I said, well, if just know that whatever you do, I say, just bless me, because I know I'm going to be a different kind of actress, whatever notions you have in your mind about it. And, he gave me his blessings and also gave me encouragement to go. My parents supported me wholeheartedly.
And that time, if you're an actress and you're doing well, at least relatively okay, you can use your money, to to marry a man. What I'm trying to say is, taking care of him, just to, shut people up and let people understand that, you can actually keep a marriage.
So I think it comes from you knowing who you are actually. Because when you know who you are, you're very comfortable with your skin. Because you're not trying to create any kind of impression like, let me be with these people so that people will think I am. No, I am, and I know.
You are who you are.
Do you understand? So when you know that, so you're comfortable with your own skin. Those inferiority or superiority complex doesn't bother you.
Because before he moved out of the house, I said, we're matured people. We can still live together. It is only me and you that will know that we are not husband and wife.
Okay.
But to the world, we'll put up a facade. And it is what we tell them. that they
I
will
don't
know.
know.
Now, some of them later discovered, I mean, this is a former footballer, so probably she felt, okay, maybe the man didn't show those signs then, and after they got into the marriage, she realized that this man doesn't even have as much money as I thought he had then. Because how I got to know is she actually requested for 100 million naira, in damages. Like she said, this man put her through a lot of trauma and even sold some of her things, I think so. So she needs those money. Around that time, I checked the comments, some of the reaction that's there. Everybody didn't even talk about what she went through. Everyone was just talking about, oh, look at her. Like, why would she be requesting for 100 million naira for what? Get out. Nah, like nobody really cares then. But anyways, it was serious around that time. So they really love to keep or stay in a marriage. They do anything to just stay married. So let me read this report about this guy's reply and his accusations, against Stephanie Okereke LINUS. And wait, before I read this report, something just came to me, and they never had a child anyway, I guess Stephanie LINUS already knew, and the fact that they didn't have a child makes me feel like problems started happening immediately after they got married, in that marriage, and she just refused to have a child for that man. Yeah, because you will later see in this video, I mean, like you all are aware, most of you are aware that she's happily married now. She's got like 3 kids now. But anyways, let us read Chikelu's reaction then. According to this report, in his response, the former soccer star countered that there was no time his first wife or any other woman ever confronted Stephanie, especially as he never set eyes on Umba since 2002 after the dissolution of their marriage in the US. And Stephanie said this guy is a big liar.
So what has worked for you so far, even in your relationship? I think is basically being true to who I am, and not trying to fake anything, really.
Okay, let's continue. He accused Stephanie of hiring thugs to invade their home and cart away his property to counter the allegation that he fraudulently obtained huge sums of money from his wife. Part of the money alleged to have been fraudulently obtained by the husband was a sum of 4.3 million naira, allegedly meant for the purchase of land for his brother-in-law. However, Chikelu insisted that the money belonged to him, claiming it was repayment of debt owed him by one Jimmy. Now, among the properties that the actress wants her estranged husband to return at that time, now ex-husband, to return a Mercedes-Benz car CLR 500 valued at 3.5 million naira, and Nigeria was good then. A Volkswagen Passat 2.0 car with a registration number DP182GGE valued at 3.5 million naira, and a laptop computer valued at 150,000 naira. The rest, according to Okereke, are kitchen utensils, including a gas cooker, refrigerator, microwave pots, etc., valued at 600,000 naira. 3 pet dogs, household furniture and appliances. The ex-husband now, who's now the ex-husband, however, appears to still have a place for the beautiful actress in his heart. He has asked the court to dismiss the petition and hold that the marriage being sought to be dissolved was validly contracted, which, I mean, the judge said that is false. Now, later in 2017, because she had moved out in January 2007, now later she was interviewed by a Ghanaian newspaper, or media platform, and she said she's happy to be divorced. Note, she later got married in 2012. But let me read this interview. Quite an interesting one, because she really answered a lot of questions. See, one thing people don't know is rumors around that time, they are even more devilish than the rumors you have on social media. And the crazy part, there are only few medias that share these things. So if it doesn't come from this media, if a reaction or a reply does not come from this media, you are done for. People will hold on to that report that they heard about you, the negative report about you, for life. So negative news, negative rumors spread easily, and it goes far and wide, about you. So it's even now easy to debunk certain reports, right? But let us read a reaction, a reply, and the questions. As young as you are, your marriage has already crashed after just a few years. And she said, I'm not sad. I'm actually happy that as a young person, I could leave the union I was not happy in. A lot of people are into relationships that don't even know how they will come out of. But I could actually stand and say, this is not good for me. And I walked out of it with that. I don't have any regret. And another question is, what really happened between you and Chikelu, your footballer husband? This is one subject that I really don't want to talk about. I consider it dead right now. Maybe I should just clarify a few things I heard when I traveled. We are no longer together. That's the question, we hear you were married before. So the ex-husband claimed that she was married before. I learned that he said I was married before I met him. I am not here to say negative things about him because he was someone I shared so many things with. I'm not here to run him down, but it was malicious of him to say I was married before. It is totally outrageous. The question is, so you were never married before you met him? She said, there is no way I would be married and nobody would know about it. Come to think of it, how old was I then? I think it was just a defense on his part because he was the one who was married before. It was a form of defense so that when the story comes out, it would seem as if he had defended himself. Now, another question is, how did you make his club in China drop him? So this guy actually lost a contract then around this period. And she replied, I didn't know I had such powers to call his club and tell the coach not to take him. He went there for trials. So how would a single call stop him from getting what he wanted? He tried to make me look like a totally bad person. I had to say this, the marriage wasn't good for me any longer, and I did not want to be in it. And they asked her, we also learned you were in a rehabilitation center in Ogun State over drug. So reports or rumors were flying around that time. Like, like I said, it was hard to debunk reports then. If it didn't come from the mainstream media, you are done for.
Because there's so many information, things being thrown at us that we do not have control over. I've seen a lot of people getting depressed, giving up on their dreams. I'm like, sometimes you may be busy watching other people's lives and you forget to concentrate on yours. And I'm not saying that you should not watch what your friends and family or draw inspiration from certain things, but you also have to be careful not to allow those things consume you.
So there were reports around that time that she has been checked in a psychiatric hospital, she's going mental, she's now taking drugs because of the effect of the marriage on her. She debunked this. She said, this is ridiculous. I don't know what journalism has turned into, that people could write something that is totally false. They wanted to paint me as a broken-hearted girl who couldn't take it any longer, that her relationship broke up and she decided to get into drugs. The story has no truth. What was the reason behind this? Were they trying to make me have a bad reputation? I don't know what they wanted with the story, but I tell you, it is totally false. It is not true. I have been out of this country for about 5 months. I have never been to a psychiatric hospital. I'm sure the writer knows what he did was ridiculous. Another question, but have you ever at least played with drugs? I have not even smoked a cigarette except in movies. I don't smoke and I don't drink. So why would I do drugs? I don't even know what cocaine looks like except in films where it looks white. But they say in every rumor there is always a bit of truth. Another question is, but they say in every rumor there is always a bit of truth. And she replied, no way. In this case, there is no figment of truth. I was in the United States. I was not in Ogun State. There is nothing like truth in that rumor. In case you don't know this, a little bit of information about a little bit of more information about the actress. She is one of the most successful actresses in the industry, with the award including the 2003 Rio Award for Best Actress, the 2006 Afro Hollywood Award for Best Actress as well. She has also been nominated thrice as the Best Actress in a Leading Role at the African Movie Academy Awards in 2005, 2009 and in 2010. She has also achieved feats in her modeling career, as she was the runner-up for the Most Beautiful Girl in Nigeria beauty pageant of 2002. Due to her immense contribution towards the growth of the movie industry in Nigeria in 2011, she was acknowledged by the Nigerian government with the national honor of Member of the Order of the Federal Republic. So you can call her Stephanie Linus, or Stephanie Okereke Linus, MFR. She was born on the 2nd of October 1982. I think they said she was born in Imo State. I thought I saw a report like that, Imo State. And maybe grew up in Delta State and schooled in Akwa Ibom. Yeah.
So what was growing up like?
Growing up for me, it was interesting actually. We're 8 in number in my family, so it's a large house.
Okay.
And but the sixth child,
Okay.
and the third girl in the house. But I think one of the things that I took away from growing up is that I'm still very grateful to my parents for laying that Christian foundation, for us.
But guys, the good news, she later found love in 2012, and in April this year, 2024, Stephanie Linus, or Stephanie Okereke Linus, and her husband Linus Idausa celebrated their 13th wedding anniversary. Now, about the husband, there's a report here. Stephanie Okereke's husband is Linus Idausa, a successful media consultant born in Edo State on 25th August 1982. They're born around the same time. I just months 9 different. He is the accredited reporter agent for CNN in Nigeria. Idausa is also the founder and CEO of Del York International, a division of New York Film Academy in Nigeria. Stephanie found love after the crashed first marriage and got married to Linus Idausa in April 2012 in Paris, France. The wedding was a private wedding attended by members of their family and a few of Nollywood actresses and actors. The couple had their first son, Maxwell Enosata Linus, in October 2015. They shared the same month, the child and the mother. Yeah, she was also born on the 2nd of October. Yeah. But yeah, that's big deal. Congratulations to her. And since then, she has been low key, no drama, nothing. But my point is, sometimes you learn from your mistakes, and just understand that this next one that I'm going into, it has to be the right person. I have to make sure it's the right person. And look at divorce in 2007. How many years is it? 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012. 5 years before she found the bone of her bone. And I've seen it in multiple reports that, these people they're waxing strong, they are doing well. We should also think about where that lady is coming from. Some people didn't even know that she was married. She has experienced, marriage turmoil before. But it wasn't really big in the news.
What's that thing that you love about this man so much? Hey, well, see me, I have to enter local language in this matter. Hey, Linus' head will be swelling right now. So there's a whole lot of things. So that's I'm just trying to figure out what. He's a strong man. That's just what I know. He's someone who's very confident in who he is, and someone who has also allowed me to blossom in in the way that I can. You know, when someone loves you, you know the person loves you and who wants the best for you, best thing for you, even the things that he say to you. But I know there's one thing I remember before I got married. One thing, we were on the train from London to from Paris to London, and I remember my husband saying something. You know what? You're actually my first priority. You know, he said that, there's certain things, all those things, you don't forget. I say, you only remember the good ones, so don't remember don't be storing the bad ones.
Why do you think he loves you that much?
Oh, my husband, he just gets me. Then I get him. I think so. He's my guy. So,
And then the compatibility, when you talk about work compatibility, how do you even do it? How do you tweak it in such a way that,
You just respect boundaries and try not to, respect boundary and try to figure out how he's saying. Certain things I might do something unconsciously and innocently, and then he'll like come no, I know you did this thing. I think the fact that you understand the intent, I understand the intent of why you do certain things. So you say, I know you did this thing innocently, but see, this is the reflection, this is this, that, or maybe when you go somewhere, you say you might not see it this way, but these are the impressions. So I think he has find a way to let me understand. See, you are seeing it one way, but these are other different ways where you can do things. So I think you respecting what he brings to the table, and he's a hardworking guy. He takes care of our family.
Okay, the next one right here is about the veteran actress Ayo Mogaji. So Ayo Mogaji has got a son fathered by Jibola Dabo, who's also an actor. So they were dating. So according to her, the relationship reignited years later because they had dated in 1989. She granted an interview recently, by the way. So it reignited. When you fall in love with somebody and later you guys met, rekindle the friendship, and it turned into something. Around this time, she was already 40. Remember, I talked about during her time too, they usually see actresses like they're prostitutes and stuff like that. She's from a serious Muslim background.
When I was in my prime, number one criteria in my home, you cannot marry a non-Muslim.
Wow.
So all the Muslim people that were dating me and I was dating, I do theater now. And I smoke cigar. And it's like, okay, she says her prayers, but she has
Because you smoke?
Not because I smoke, because they believe I've been overexposed.
Exposed. Okay.
Like my aperture has opened. When you are using camera, when you open the aperture, you see too many things. So they believe that I've seen
too much
that I cannot be controlled, which actually was not true.
But again, come to think of it, yes, she's from a serious Muslim background, but she was a smoker. She smokes and drinks. So even though she's from a serious Muslim background, the thought then by people was that if you're dating somebody like this, just do and leave her, because she won't be serious. She won't be submissive. And imagine then, smoking is not like a big deal to a lot of families. So she did not find husband. It was difficult for her, even though she said that the fact that she smoked does not mean that she's not responsible. She's a responsible person, but men saw it as intimidating to marry somebody like her. So she went through that, and at 40, in fact, it's crazy that she even thanked Jibola Dabo for impregnating her and allowing her to have a child, like another chance, because she really wanted to have a child. She's told herself that when she clocked 40, she would adopt a child if she didn't find a child, because around that time she was desperate, and she expressed her feelings well to make us understand that, yeah, she was desperate. She woke up with Jibola Dabo and pregnancy came.
I promised myself by the time I'm 40, if I cannot get I stopped looking for husbands.
Okay.
I wanted to make a baby. By 40, if I can't make a baby by 40, then I'll go and adopt. That was my mindset.
And by the way, guys, she has one fallopian tube because she suffers ectopic pregnancy. She before Jibola Dabo, there was a lawyer that she met. She got pregnant. They even, did introduction. She got pregnant that almost took her life. That she was so scared. Only one fallopian tube was ruptured, even though they told her that she might not survive it. So they removed that one. It was very scary, and it took them, I think, 7 to 9 hours to finalize the operation. Everybody was even already scared that she probably might not survive because that's what the doctor said. But fortunately, and thankfully, she survived. She survived it. She lost the pregnancy and left with one fallopian tube. Even with that one, she got pregnant with Jibola Dabo's child. And Jibola Dabo made it clear, look, I'm not interested in marriage. And this, and she wanted to have the baby. She said she would take care of the baby. And she decided to have the baby because Jibola Dabo himself don't get pikin everywhere. You understand? He was in that child's life till the child was 2, and they were friends, and he traveled outside of the country. And I think, according to them, they blame it on distance and everything, but they were never married at all. They were never married.
Little by little, he moved in. We started living together in my house, and what more can I say? The baby made his entrance, but he didn't want to get married or anything. He told me he didn't want to get married.
Was he married at that time?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
But he's had series of children before my turn. And when I got pregnant, I couldn't go and abort it. Even though he told me he wasn't looking for a child at that age.
Okay.
So I said, don't worry, I'll be able to take care of my child. And that was how Kushimani came. So
Kushimani.
Yes.
Before that time, have you been trying to make babies? It was impossible, or because you didn't have, or you were not married?
So I'm going to read this part for those of you that don't know what this fallopian tube is about. So fallopian tubes are narrow, hollow structures located on either side of the uterus. They serve as pathways for eggs to travel from the ovaries to the uterus. Mogaji said a fallopian tube was ruptured when she had her first pregnancy, which was ectopic and had to be evacuated in order to save her life. An ectopic pregnancy happens when a fertilized egg implants and develops outside the usual space within the uterus. Typically, this occurs in a fallopian tube, where eggs normally travel from ovaries to the uterus, resulting in what is known as a tuber pregnancy. And I later went to check, Jibola Dabo was actually interviewed. Let me see if I can be able to. He was, he was interviewed. Yeah, and here's what he said. He narrated, according to the reports, he narrated that it is true that Binta had a pregnancy with him, and because she was not young when it happened, he did not ask her to abort the pregnancy. He said their relationship ended because of the incompatibility of their lifestyle. Dabo narrated that when he moved to the US in 2000, communication became an issue between them because there was no phone at that time. He later found a wife there, who is a Black American. He wanted to continue his relationship with Binta, but because of their differences in lifestyle, he had to end the relationship. In his words, my wife in the US is a Black American. She's partly a Native American Indian and a Black American. So Ayo Mogaji and I were never married. Though she got pregnant, we were very matured about the situation. Now, after Jibola Dabo, now this is shocking. She found a man that said he loves her, that he want to be with her. Now, this man was a former footballer, and a physiotherapist based in Britain at the time. You know, they got married. Things were going like it's going smoothly. And she said after 2 years, this man started beating her. She went through hell again because of the stigma out there about actresses, especially herself. You know, she really wanted to keep that relationship, to keep it going for 13 good years. According to her, she said she condoned so much for 13 years that she couldn't take it anymore. And again, guess what? She was the one taking care of the man in Nigeria. She even opened a betting shop for the man. When the man was left with I think she said a van or something, that she didn't even care. She left some of her things, but she let him have some of those things. And technically, she was the one taking care of the man while the man was there, and she was trying to also keep the marriage. But there's something that she made mention of that I would like to kind of make emphasis on. She said sometimes when the woman is on a certain pedestal that is higher than that of the spouse, it brings bad blood within the relationship.
Then one Britico man, Nigerian born Britico born Nigeria man came, and we fell in love. We actually fell in love.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
We actually fell in love with each other. And we were in it for like 13 years. But, you know, sometime when the woman is on a certain pedestal that is higher than that of the spouse, it brings bad blood within the relationship. And I think that was what happened, that my marriage fell apart. Yesterday, he still called me, "Hello, my love," and I sent him a message. "Who is your love?" He said, "Being divorced does not, being your ex-wife does not mean you are my ex-love." And we've been separated for like 4 years now.
4.
But the marriage was for 13 years. Actually, we got married on your birthday.
23rd of December.
We got married your birthday, 23rd December 2006, and we fell apart January 28th, year 2020.
Oh, so does it mean to you there is no room for reconciliation?
No, there can't be room, because he's an old man, and if I could tolerate that thing for 13 years thinking there'll be a change, there will be a change. If there can be no change for 13 years, then there can never be change. It's not a bad person. It's just that when you are too jealous, when you are when you have complex, it's very hard. When one of the spouses has a complex, and the complex is deeply rooted, that nothing the other one would do, you will spite that person. It can't work. You see, I'm not one of those people who believe that we just have to make this marriage work. Yes, you can try. And I did try for 13 years to make it work.
She ended the marriage in 2020. He said the man left the house, that the man was the one who left, pack his own load, come off for our house, that she pays the rent of that house. Now the man is begging to return, and she said no, it is over. And the man refused to divorce her after 2 years. You know, after this, they were apart for 2 years, separated for 2 years, and I think after 4 years you can go to the courts to dissolve the marriage in the absence of the spouse. And I think that's what she did. According to her, the man is still begging to get back into her life till date, but he was a violent man.
He was the one who left me. I didn't leave him. He was the one who left the house. Upon all my endurance, he was the one who packed his load and left. In fact, my younger sister was even saying, brother, can you bury now? I said, no, because your sister thinks she's this, she's that, she's... And I said, if he wants to leave, let him leave. And he left. 3 days later, he started begging me. I said, no, because I'm the one paying the rent to this house. You were the one who removed your stuff. You can't come back here. It's not a hotel. You decided to leave. You left. So you can't come back. In fact, he took alimony in the place of I used to have a location boss. He took it with him. And I just, because I've had it up to here. So I just say, whatever else he wants to take, let him take it. Let him go.
And that was it.
That was it. And he started begging me. 2 years after separation, I went to him and said I wanted a divorce. He said, no, he will never divorce me. And I said, yes, I'll carry the available like that. Don't worry, don't divorce me. When it's 3-4 years, I will go to court and it will be the decree absolute. Because after 4 years of separation, whether you appear, you don't appear, if I want to take divorce, I'll take it. And that's it.
Is there anything you think you could have done better in the course of the marriage?
I did everything. Everything. To hold it together, I did everything.
Do you think it was all about the complex for you?
The abusive language, the threats. In fact, I got to a stage I had to contact police station with a petition that if anything happens to me, don't look foul. This is where it's coming from. People started saying maybe because when he relocated, he doesn't have anything he's doing. I opened a betting shop for him. I opened it with my money for him. Everything I bought and put in the betting shop, when he was leaving, he took them all. But I'm not bothered about that.
Some people will think that you should have, or you didn't do so much because you didn't go begging him. And some people will be of the opinion that, why do I need to beg somebody that doesn't want to stay? What's your take on that? Do you think you should have gone to, do some extra?
Actually, the begging aspect of it, the person who was supposed to beg was the one begging. Because he was supposed to beg me. And he's the one begging. But I'm done. I'm done and dusted with that aspect of my life. Because before he moved out of the house, I said, we're matured people. We can still live together. It is only me and you that will know that we are not husband and wife.
Okay.
But to the world, we'll put up a facade. And it is what we tell them that they will know. But let's remain friends. If we're friends, we can be roommates or flatmates now.
How long do you think you would be able to do that?
I even gave him that kind of offer. That let's just be friends. But he didn't want that.
Okay.
People started saying maybe because when he relocated, he doesn't have anything he's doing. I opened a betting shop for him. I opened it with my money for him. Everything I bought and put in the betting shop, when he was leaving, he took them all. But I'm not bothered about that. I'm thanking my God that I can breathe easy. I'm not afraid to go back home. I'm not afraid of being woken up in the middle of the night to talk about irrelevant things. Things that you don't know facts about, that you just assume, okay, from where I was sitting down, this is how this thing looks, so it must be like that. I've never had a history of blood pressure, whether low or high. But I was getting to that level of that I can have it. That when it's only me and him at home, I will go outside the compound and sit down till somebody will come, so that I will not be abused.
Wow. Wow.
So I couldn't have gone back to bed. The mistake I made was that when my marriage was 2 years old was when I should have gotten out of it.
Why?
Because the abuse was much then. Even though we were living in England. But any little thing,
wow.
Even in England, so many of my friends are private to this. They will say, go and report at the police station. I said, no.
Really sad, isn't it? Anyways, guys, that's where I'm going to hold it. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe. Until we see you next time. Peace.
So by the time we realized what was happening, they took me to like 7 hospitals. Late Uncle Ediadereokun was the one who now gave me a note to the hospital where they admitted me. They didn't even want to admit me. Thank God the doctor stepped out for a while, and I said, "Na emergency, just give me a bed." And the note I brought with me, they gave me the bed. The man said, I'm not sure you can survive till tomorrow. And I told the man, I said, do you believe in God? He said, yes. I said, even if you don't believe in God, believe in me, because I believe in God. And
my faith will help you.
God do not have the agreement that I'm going to die like this.
Wow.
And they did the operation the following day. All my friends in the industry, Ngozi Nwosu cried. Her eyes was like this by the time the operation took them like 7 to 9 hours the following day. And Ngozi she had cried all her eyeballs, saying Ngozi get eye wella. She don't cry. Shola Shubowale, everybody, Uncle Sam Loko, Jide Kosok, everybody was at the hospital. So when I came back into my right senses, the doctor said, and I didn't want to admit you. I didn't know I was admitting a star. I said, I claim it. This was in 1992. Fortunately or unfortunately, the ectopic pregnancy ruptured before they could do anything, and it ruptured my appendix. So they had to remove one fallopian tube. But I'm living with one, and I had my child through natural birth with that one I had.
Wow. You can't forget this. We can't forget in a hurry. You had him with just one.
Yes. And I had him through natural cause. It wasn't
CS.
No.
Wow. Congratulations, ma'am.
And today,
yes,
I glorify his name for using Jibola for me. My son is 20.
20. Thank God. And thank you.
Finish university today.
Thank you to God.
Amen.